Denver and Cat Canyon Western, take two. Those of you who know me, back in Illinois, I had the Denver and Cat Canyon. Since we moved to Arizona, we're now building the Cat Canyon Western. Anyway, this is where I started in February, was building this little corner. And we started off with the She's All Mine, and she really is. And this is my little mining complex with the ore tipple. All track is hand laid, sidings are code 55, main lines code 70. The first tunnel going into the mountain area. The mountain area is consisted of 5 individual chunks that come out like a big giant puzzle, so I can get at the track, because in the back there's the main line running through with addition of 2 staging tracks. As we move a little further down the pike here, we see the first scratch-built trestle and some little runoff water coming out of the mine, out of the tunnel. And then the Mill Pond Creek, which has also got a little bit of rapids in it. We come up to trestle number 2. There's the mill pond, it drains out of it, it gets all the runoff from the hills. Over on the other side in the deeper area, there's a little fisherman. He's taking advantage of a little day off and trying to catch that big one. And we move back out here, and just before we head into up to the 2% grades, we have what's known as Mesa Tank, and it's where they reload their water bins before they head up the hill. And behind that is the overrun for the log dump. It'll handle 3 cars at a time. We're getting ready to unload this car at this time. And the mill pond in the back, we've got the logs that are being pulled into position to be taken up the ramp, as you see here, into the actual log mill itself, which is kind of giant structure that's kind of the showcase of this area. And then of course right here we've got this is the pump house. It provides water for the tanks and for the logs and the saws and everything else. And we have the lumber storage yard, which I'm using as a main yard down now because my main yard isn't built yet. So to keep things running, or get things running I should say, we've got everything piled up in here. Our little bubble of bevy of steamers ready to go. In the background there's that's the water tank that handles all the little fire shacks you see spread all around for fire prevention, because of course back then fire was a big problem. This is the powerhouse. It provides steam and electric power for the mill and the associated buildings, and it runs on sawdust, which is drawn over and yet to be put in are the tubes that will actually transfer the sawdust and the steam power to the main building. Coming back out, there's some of the PBL equipment on the layout, the Heisler and the Shea, and there's a little RGS Bruce. Again, everything is DCC with sound, either lock sound decoders or Soundtrax decoders. And then we have the engine house. Lots of details to be added because we're just finishing up this area with the rough scenery. And here's the whole section of mountains that lift off and come out, like I said, a giant puzzle that carry the whole section of the layout. And just finished yesterday is this corner area with the scenery. This is going to be a meadow for sheep, and the gray area there is going to be a little frog pond for the sheep to get some much needed moisture. And then the backdrop with some of the towering mountains in the background. And we come forward into what is going to be the yard area and the main town of Deadwood. This is a freelance layout, so I'm not trying to copy any particular prototypical arrangements of track or buildings or anything else. This is my layout. It's going to be however I want to make it. And there's the last bit of scenery. Fascia panel is in place. It'll have to be painted eventually once I finish all the rest of the detailed stuff out here. And we've got the DCC up and running. And until the next report, we'll say adieu from Mesa. Thank you.